Morning, morning. It's Monday, February 3rd. We are 1 week out from Super Bowl, the most
Six
important time of the
days.
year. 6 days, less than
Yes,
a week.
sir.
The most important time of
NASCAR's
the year.
back.
It is.
NBA's going wild.
It is crazy.
Super Bowl's coming. Pro Bowl's
We didn't
still
have anything, and
last.
the NBA said allow us to give you a full agenda. Yeah, what a wild couple of days here. But yeah, so cup of sports here in the morning with you. Yeah, we'll dive in. We'll take, as always, kind of start with some NFL news. There's always a little something lurking around the corner, but yeah, I mean, we'll dive into some major NBA news, and then currently watching the clash at Bowman Gray. Technically, first NASCAR race of the season, so
Little
got a lot
preseason
going.
action.
Yeah, got a lot going on at the current moment. So,
Yeah.
but
We'll hop
yeah, at
in
the
with
end,
the NFL.
yeah,
Chip Kelly leaves Ohio State. They've now lost both of their coordinators. Ryan Day's trash. So
yep.
I'm going to take
Ryan
that
Day's
Michigan
alone.
W next year.
Yeah. He's
Um,
alone by himself now with a loss of two great coordinators.
yeah. So he leaves and goes to the Raiders as their offensive coordinator.
Yep. Makes the
Um,
AFC West coaching tree even stronger, technically, depending on how you view Chip Kelly.
yeah, certainly not an easy task for anybody in that division, but
No, yeah, it's not ideal. It feels like
I
we were the
guess
AFC West All
I
Stars a
guess
couple years
y'all
ago,
are
and now we have the coaching for it. So
y'all are keeping up with the Joneses there to try to keep catch the Chiefs. So you got to do
yeah,
something, right?
the Broncos unfortunately aren't though. We lost all of our coordinators and then haven't done shit since. Like I feel like we didn't do anything progressive. But I mean, we didn't really lose coordinators. We lost like passing game coordinator and things
Yeah,
like that. But still, is not ideal. I don't think so.
yeah. It, you never know.
Um,
Sometimes you get somebody a little better, and it's fine.
Yeah,
But
today marks probably the eighth or ninth Pro Bowl in a row that I don't think I watched a single minute of.
yeah,
Like I even thought about it today, and I was like, I'm not putting that on. Like I'd rather watch golf. I watched Pebble Beach a little bit. Like I just
yeah.
have no interest in it. There's nothing about dodgeball or spike competition or flag football. Like none of it does anything for me. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is, but I just don't care.
I didn't. I guess the NFC won again, makes it like three in a row for them. But like I could care
Couldn't.
less.
Yeah, literally, you could not. I would
Yeah,
have. You couldn't have gone to my head. Wouldn't have been able to tell you anything about that. So
yeah.
yeah, hopefully they do some fixing in it, but. Tell
They
me
won't.
about your Eagles going down under.
Yeah. So the NFL announced this weekend that the Eagles will play the Rams in the first ever game in Australia in 2026. So we got to play the first game in Brazil, and now we're going to be playing the first game in Australia. Um, Everybody's like super excited because Jordan Mailata, our left tackle, is from New Zealand.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's
So
not very
like I'm sure he's pretty hyped. Now like obviously they have other things to worry about this week and a
right,
full season in between.
right,
Um
but still,
but yeah.
yeah, that weighs
Presumably
in.
presumably it'll be the first game of the season. Cuz like you can't expect the team to travel the
Yeah,
whole
no,
way in
no,
the middle
yeah,
of the
yeah, no,
season.
yeah. You do that ahead of time and kind of
Yeah.
make it a vacation at the end of preseason, get your first game, then come
Yeah.
home. So
So that's exciting. I I go back and forth on how I feel about those international games.
yeah, it's good for the game, but
So
it's like the actual logistics of it, and you're putting teams at a disadvantage,
yeah,
and yeah, it gets a little tough, a little hairy there. But I
yeah.
mean,
Like,
it's
can we just continue to send the trash teams over there? Like,
yeah. Let's
can
the
I get
teams
the
that don't.
Jaguars and the Titans, please?
That really should be what it is. Is like as the season goes on, like teams that get automatically eliminated from the playoffs. Like first two teams to get eliminated from the playoffs. Fucking Brazil, have at it. Like week 12, have at it. Like you guys
Yep.
are on a plane. Don't be the first team to be eliminated.
Oh,
Like it
next
kind of.
two, you're going to Germany.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So people are like, dude, please don't fucking let us be the bottom of the division. I'm not trying to travel extra this year. So
Yeah,
yeah, recently the NBA did Paris games, and so like Wemby, it was like this homecoming, like a national treasure. So for him to go back to Paris and play two games back to back, and they were legitimate NBA regular season games. So,
yeah.
yeah, it was a star-studded affair that he got to come home
I
and be kind of
I feel like it's a lot different in all the other sports because there's so many games played that
yes,
like to go
yeah,
play
one
two
or
or
two
three
doesn't
games
matter. Yeah,
overseas is
no, the
like
NFL is
that's like what's that like 3% of your schedule
yeah, barely,
versus the
yeah.
NFL where one game is like what's that almost 5% of your schedule, like four and a
Yeah,
half,
yeah,
something like
yep.
that. So
Yeah, that's a tough day. Yeah, 'cause like you said,
yeah,
yeah, it's no matter what, somebody's coming home with a dub, but is it the
right,
right team? And so like
yeah,
it's you're taking in a lot more than just the typical travel and things like that.
yeah.
So
You all right over there?
yeah, drop my thing.
Oh,
my lifeline this week with my stuffy nose. Finally feel better, but my NyQuil nose is keeping me alive.
Not the smelling salts as I thought they were
No, yeah,
before.
yeah. He said,
So,
"Was that smelling salts?" No, it's just my lifeline right now,
can I get an explain like I'm five? What happened in the NBA last night?
dude. Truly, I don't know. Like NFL terms, the God, I don't even know. The Vikings just traded Justin Jefferson for fuck, I don't know. Like I
Yeah,
don't even know. Like AJ Brown, like I don't know. Like it's like
yeah,
even like yeah, it's just something like it's like you get a star, but you traded a fucking superstar, and like
yeah,
the position changes are weird now. Like LA doesn't really have like a bona fide big man. AD didn't want to play the five and wanted to play the four. A lot of the reports I'm reading from like Twitter and everything else is that there was an ESPN sit down or like Anthony Davis did an interview recently or like a podcast and basically talks about how like the NBA narrative is for Wemby to win, and like the Lakers don't do certain things for us to like get in a position to win, and
yeah.
that started like a rift between Anthony Davis and the Lakers that like apparently LeBron didn't have really anything to do with, but that's
Right.
always kind of a grain of salt. Like, did he or didn't he? Like, did he have his hand in it? Did he want his stamp on it or not? But no matter what, no one's doing anything without a LeBron signature. So hard to imagine that the Lakers just did it without him signing off. But then also like why Luka? Did LeBron recruit him? Is that who LeBron wanted? Did Luka want to come to LA? Was Luka not going to sign? Like,
Yeah.
do Luka and Mark Cuban have beef? There's a rumor that Mark Cuban had nothing to do with it because he just
He
sold the
sold the team.
Mavs.
Yeah, he
He
sold
sold
his
the team, but
stake.
he
Yeah.
retained he retained like creative
Minority.
rights or
Yeah.
yeah, like whatever it is. But he retained like GM responsibility or something. Like he retained
Oh,
like
I didn't know that.
creative control over something, but sold the rights to the team. Like, yeah, it was a weird deal, but he retained like this is my baby, I'm not letting go. So yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, like we talked about it off the air. I literally last night I went to bed early because Kayla and I had a ton of shit to do today. Laid down in bed at like 11, dozed off a little, watching Planet of the. Yeah, that's early for me.
This man says I went to
Yeah,
bed early, and
yeah,
then
I went to
says,
bed
"Yeah, I
early.
laid down at like 11."
Yeah, I went to bed
Like,
early. It's fine. I looked
what?
down. It was like 11:08. I said, "Damn, I'm getting to bed early tonight, boy." Laid down, of course, fell asleep like 45 minutes. I wake up like right around midnight and was like, "Cool, now I'm never gonna fucking sleep." Checked my phone and I literally opened up. I scrolled to Twitter and I see a picture of a photoshopped Luca standing next to LeBron, and I was like, "Damn, could you imagine?" And then like moments later, I start realizing that the reports are real. And, like that's the reason I saw it photoshopped. Like I thought it was just like a random Twitter thing that I saw. But yeah, I explain it to you like you're five. I have no fucking idea. Like it, yeah, Justin Jefferson just got traded for DeAndre Hopkins or something. They just put Justin Jefferson on the Chiefs. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like it just yeah, and as far as like not even like chemistry, because who knows like how much conversations like how many conversations they have whether or not they're working out on
Right.
off seasons and things like that. But yeah, it just feels weird. Like AD to the Mavs is a big deal because now Kyrie, Clay, and AD is kind of dangerous. Like
Oh, I
AD,
forgot Clay was down there now.
yeah, like Clay's
Yeah.
kind of he's there hit or miss, and whether or not he can make a shot. But like having Kyrie and AD is a dangerous 1-2 combo. And then like LeBron and AD or LeBron and Luca though, like that's got to be an unguardable fucking duo. Like that pick
Yeah.
and roll is just unstoppable. Like you're not getting anybody that can cover both of them, let alone one of them. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out, especially right now in the season. Like they just did it halfway through the season, which is fucking crazy. Like
Right.
midway through the season, just boom, superstar swap is insane. Like, and then to top that off, the Mavs the very following night let up 91 at halftime, and then lost by like 49 points. Like their first game after not having Luca.
Yeah.
Like my favorite part of this was seeing like Kevin Durant's reaction on the bench. Like he's sitting next to Bradley Beal during a game, and one of the trainers is like look at my phone. And you see Katie look at a phone and he goes, no way that's real. Like he's just looking around like there's like legitimate players like Twitter went
Yeah.
nuts last night. Like that's what caught me up was like I saw it and then once I like took a second it was like, oh my god, this is real. I was up from like 12 to 1 just reading tweets and shit and like everyone else was just as confused as I was. So
Yeah.
yeah, wild thing. Only other thing I really had about it was that apparently a couple weeks ago the Mavs reached out to another team that they haven't named. That was they were looking for a mystery, like a star swap, then too, like a 1-for-1. I feel like it was the Celtics. I feel like they called about Jalen Brown. Because there was always rumors about Mark Cuban loving Jalen Brown and him wanting to go there. Him and Kyrie have always been cool. I'm sure Kyrie would have given the stamp of approval for that, and it would have been switching guards, so it would have
Yeah.
made more sense. That's just my guess. I had a good feeling. People were always after Jaylen Brown. I feel like the Celtics were like, "Fuck off. We're not doing as dominant as we should be, but we're not breaking up that duo." Like
Yeah,
they just made their 10th All Star appearance together. Like they're not breaking the JBJT duo up. So, but yeah, I'm very curious to see who that mystery team was. Like I really want to know who they offered, and that team said, "Fuck no, we don't want Luca," because like that's crazy too. Like who just
yeah,
was outright like, "No thanks" on Luca. Like that's wild. So. And then another one that just happened like 2 hours ago. I was sitting there eating dinner, and trade got finalized. De'Aaron Fox, after we talked a couple weeks ago
yeah.
about him being a lifer for the Kings, gets traded to the Spurs. So now he's down with Wemby and Chris Paul and Popovich, which is sweet for him. And Zach LaVine was a three-team trade. I think the Jazz got involved in this for draft picks. But the Kings got Zach LaVine from the Bulls, so the Bulls take a hit back to where they were back into nobody land with Lonzo, unfortunately. But yeah, Zach LaVine gets a new fresh start, kind of a high flyer out in Sacramento, so that'll be fun to see. But I don't see how that's much different than De'Aaron Fox. Like I don't think
Yeah.
that they didn't do too much there. But De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio is going to be fucking sweet because him and Chris Paul and Wemby is a sweet trio. So excited to see that. But and then yeah, side note of bias, the Celtics were down pretty big to the Sixers tonight, and Jason Tatum had a double double and brought them back. We were down like 26 to the Sixers and won. So
That's
Sixers
not
suck.
impressive.
Yeah, yeah, it was bad.
It's
It's like
more
double
impressive
bad.
that you were down
Yes,
26
yes,
to
yeah. I
the
checked the
Sixers.
score. I literally looked at the score and I went, "Sweet, we're up 26." We're down 26 to the Sixers. Like it was like 96-70 or something. I was like, "Cool, we're blowing them out. This game's almost over." And I was like, "Wait, no, we're not." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Because yeah, I turned it on and JT just started cooking. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
shocker.
so NBA, yeah. I mean, honestly, we have 4 days left before the trade deadline. Like I think it's the 6th at 4:30 p.m. or
Yeah,
4:22
but
p.m. or
like I
something
feel like the
crazy.
NBA always does this, where like they go nuts a couple of days before, and then actual deadline is
Yeah,
like super
then super
quiet.
quiet.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you have
I
a
mean,
couple
I
of small
what.
trades.
So what I feel like what happens is you either get these huge trades and then nothing throughout the deadline,
Yeah,
or you don't get the big trades, but you get chaos at the deadline. That's a bunch
right.
of role players and like draft picks and shit you didn't see come in. Like the time you get the crunch time trades or whenever nothing big happened. But I feel
Yeah,
like I did. We were just clicking through ESPN, just kind of seeing if there's anything we missed before the show started, and I saw that article was the dominoes that Luca has started, and it's like all the other teams that now are going to react to this, like is,
right.
and a lot of people right away were like, are they trading LeBron too? Like, are the Lakers getting rid of LeBron? But LeBron has a no trade clause and just made
Right.
it clear he said I plan on staying past the deadline. So, and that was where people were like, did he not know that Luca was coming? Because why did he just feel the need to tell everybody I'm not leaving? Like, I'm not waiving my no trade clause. Like, was he going to be like, oh, you treated an AD without me? Fuck this, I'm out. And so like, yeah, so it's just like did LeBron have anything to do with it or not? But of course, I mean, I would assume so. I can't imagine that he just walks into work and they're like, "Hey, man, we traded one of your best friends. Coffee's on the table. Have fun. Warm ups at 2." Like,
Coffee's at
so
the table.
yeah, I can't imagine that they just blew by that real quick. I'm sure that he was in the room when they were making calls or getting
Yeah,
offers or whatever. So, but yeah,
hard
so
to
that's all I
tell,
got for
but
that's all I got for NBA. But yeah, keep your eye out. Next 4 days are hopefully going to be wild. I'm going to at least
yeah,
gonna be glued to my phone to make sure I don't miss any notifications.
fair enough. Can't blame you. I
Teach
have
me
to
about a little.
apologize because
Oh
I did
yeah,
wake up at 4 a.m. this morning. I'm ice fishing, so
yeah, you had a
um,
long day.
yeah, it's now 10 p.m. and I'm still awake. Um, so
Well, I mean,
got a
it's a
little bit of
Sunday
yawns.
afternoon. You're a chill dude. You probably just got to come home and nap all day. Zero responsibilities. You had nothing to take
Yeah,
care of. No wife to support or babies to feed. You were probably just chilling today.
yeah. I came home and I was like, I don't really
Yeah,
want
let
to
me,
do
let me
anything.
just sleep with the couch until I don't know
We
8 p.m.
we didn't get snow that I had to take care of,
Oh yeah. See, I got a
have
little
to
bit of
clean
sleep.
fish and
Have to clean fish. Kaylee and I did that thing. I told you this where we were like, "This is the weekend. We're like, we don't have shit to do. There's no football. Like, if you want things done, like before summer, before I start my new job next Monday, I was like, this would really be the weekend for us to like grind. If there's anything we don't get done, I can finish it this week. So I was like, let's
yeah,
get after it. And like the kitchen was the big one today. We literally pulled everything out, put everything on the table. Like every cabinet, every crevice got pulled out today. And we just were like, okay, let's resituate entirely what makes sense where. And so we redid the whole kitchen today. So yeah,
now you'll be
it
opening
was
the wrong cupboard for the next couple days.
dude, we swapped plates and bowls. That's the biggest one. It's like I keep going to grab it. Like just as soon as I put my hand on it, I'm like, they're not fucking in there. They're not in there. It's so annoying. So yeah, you had your ice fishing today, and then of course I had to take care of family. But yeah, I fucking,
I think we did mention this. I don't even know when our last Thursday. That's when our last
yeah,
episode was.
yeah.
So February 9th, next Sunday, the Cubs report. So baseball is getting here. Not that either of us particularly care,
Nope, I
but
won't check in until a long time
there,
from now.
yeah, so I say there are a lot of people that do care. I saw a post this week that was wild, and they're like, "I'm more excited for pitchers and catchers to report than I am the Super Bowl," and I was like, "I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, could not
Like
even
this
relate.
cannot be
And
real."
yeah, that's I can't even like that's like me. That's like me saying that I'm more excited for NFL preseason than the World Series. Like that's not true. Like I don't give a fuck about even the team, even the sport that I enjoy the most. Like I would rather watch World Series than watch
Yeah,
fucking NFL training camp or something. Like
yeah.
yeah, no, give me week one meaningful football. Then yeah, no, I'm locked in. Fuck everything else. But yeah, out of the gate, that's a crazy take. Um,
Couldn't agree more. Um,
any NHL news? No.
yeah, I don't. It's one of those things I don't really want to talk about it. We're just so
Yeah,
bad.
if the Flyers are
Just
bad, we just don't talk about it. It's fine.
yeah. We at one point we were 3 points out of a wild card. I guess technically we're still only 6 points out of a wild card spot. But we've played more games than both of the teams holding the wild card spot. So it's like you're like 3 games by math, but really you're like 5 to 6 games because of like the half games, how they add up kind of
Right.
thing. So it's not good. We have a losing
Not good
record.
right now.
We're technically right now we're worse than the Penguins because they have instead of 2 losses, they have the overtime loss, so they have the extra point, but is what it
Stupid ass
is.
overtime losses. So
Um,
stupid.
I did see today though that Arch Manning opens as the Heisman favorite for 2025/6, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I
So like crazy that we're even talking about this right now, but I
yeah, but
guess it is.
Sarkeesian got his extension too. He was a rumor
Yeah,
for some NFL openings. He gets the fucking bag at Texas, so like chances of him ended up leaving there not likely, and they did good this year.
yeah,
If they get a couple more young kids and pieces, it feels weird saying it now, but I mean the goddamn college football is basically the NFL. So saying like,
yeah,
okay, if they can get a couple more pieces this year, which
right,
they can through NIL or trade portal, like they'll make some shit happen. You can essentially trade people now. So yeah,
yeah,
if they can get a couple more pieces, like they are definitely a championship team. Especially, I mean, who knows what happens with Ohio State? Does Ryan Day regress? Does having no coordinators fuck him over? Like, yeah. So
yeah.
Oregon, I think Jake or we did this last time. Daniel Gabriel, Dan,
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Did he declare for the draft or did he come back?
I don't know off the top of my head. If you look at the mock drafts, he'd be in the first round though.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's a
what I
lot of
thought.
people that need.
Miami Dolphins targeting Jalen Miller and Dylan Gabriel for the draft. Yeah, I guess he did declare. I thought he did. So yeah.
I was gonna say it'd be silly
Um,
not to.
yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So it'll be all shaken up next year. It pretty much changes every year on what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So
and like, look, there's still a lot of like players to fall in line with NIL and jump ship from one team to
yeah, for
another.
sure. Yeah,
So
it's hard to tell to try to pick which college is gonna be at the top next year, but
yeah,
um, college basketball we can skip because North Carolina lost to Duke and it was such a sad outing. We got our asses kicked. I put that on
yeah,
Saturday night and was like, hell yeah. And I started watching and I was like, dude, we are getting fucking dog walked. Cooper Flag is so fucking good.
yeah,
That kid is so good. So yeah, North Carolina is not great. We're barely above a 500 team, but
right,
yeah, we got dog walked by Duke. I mean, we were in Duke, but still.
yeah. Well, it has to happen eventually, right? We
Yeah, yeah.
we sent
We
Coach
take
K out with an L. So
nothing like it. Nothing like it. There'll never
are
be
you
anything like it.
kidding me?
What I miss. What
Kyle
was it?
Busch is a
11
lap
laps to
down
go.
and just racing like an asshole against Ryan Blaney, who's trying to catch the leader. And Kyle Busch is like multiple laps down.
12.
Oh, just kidding. Ryan just got really loose. All right, Kyle. I apologize.
Or Kyle, at Kyle on Twitter.
Um, but yeah,
UFC.
yeah, UFC 9 a.m. Right?
9 a.m. was wild. And John and I were talking about it before that. He didn't know that I knew about it already. He texted me. He said, Adesanya is fighting tomorrow at 1:30, 1:30 p.m. Like, not because it's typically 1 a.m. that they start fighting. And I was like, no, I know. 9 a.m. prelims is fucking crazy. But literally came down, started making breakfast, and threw it on the TV. Like, I had it up here because we had started the kitchen yesterday and we were talking about it and threw it up on the TV. And I was like, it feels so weird. Like, I'm barely awake and just watching people manhandle, beat the shit out of each other. But whatever. Here we are. But yeah, no, it was a solid fight card. Where did I pick up watching at? I watched the whole main card, and that's yeah. There was just like a lot. There's 4 decisions right out of the gate, and then Adesanya got technically knocked out. It was one of those ones where I don't love how they do it sometimes. He gets knocked like hit clean down to the ground, covers his head, and then like people just kind of start wailing on you.
Yeah,
And it's like if you don't recover or get up fast enough, the ref just kind of calls it. But it's like you need at least a second to try to like figure some shit out or do whatever. And it felt too quick. Like he even
uh,
sat up and looked at the ref and was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like I'm fine." Like he was not like knocked out. Like it was
right.
just like he's dazed, he's done. Like call it. And it did not feel like a call it kind of
Mm,
fight. Like so yeah, it got called really quickly for no reason. So. But again, it was fucking 2 p.m. at that point, so it was just such a weird time for a fight.
yeah,
But
that is
yeah, either
true.
way, I'm excited that I'm now like locked into UFC scheduling and paying attention to it. It's fun. It's weird that it's on Saturdays, but fuck it, they never really have major sports on Saturdays aside from college football. So
Yeah.
yeah, now we have UFC 312, which is also other UFC news. The one UFC fighter made a bunch of pro Hitler comments, and then even Dana White and a bunch of other people were like, "That guy's a fucking idiot," and he came back and was like, "All right, yeah, my bad. Maybe I should have shut the fuck up." So like, it's been a week for like I think it's Bryce Mitchell. Been a week for him. But then on this Saturday, 6 p.m. normal fight time, we have this one's in Australia though too, which is odd that it's normal fight
I'll
time.
say
But
6 p.m. is not a normal fight time.
8 is usually technically when it starts, and then
Oh,
like the
okay.
midnight is like the main card. So 6 is a little bit earlier, but it's not as early as it usually is. So um, yeah, it's Driscus, I think Dricus Duplay is his name, Duplaces or something like that. I always fuck up their names. And then Sean Strickland, who is like that super pro America dude that just like wears the flag in and out
Yeah.
of the stadiums and shit like that. So but yeah, so yeah, this Saturday would be a solid fight, so I'll definitely be locked into that one. But
Fair enough.
yeah, 9 a.m. fight, I'm good on. We can stop doing that.
Fair enough. Moving it along, NASCAR. I have here boogity boogity boogity. Let's go
Boogity
racing.
boogity boogity boys, let's go
Season
racing.
is back. The clash
Boogity
just
boogity boogity
ended, and
boys.
Chase Elliott pretty much dominated this race. He didn't lead the entire time, but he was in like the top. I don't think he fell farther than three.
Damn,
So he's
that's a small ass track, isn't it?
yeah. This is so Bowman Gray Stadium is a football field in the fall,
Ah,
and instead of having a like track and field track on the outside, they paved it and made it a racing track.
love
Um,
that.
yeah, so those stands like they take the
They're
walls down
football
and they play
stands.
football there. Winston Salem State University plays football there. Um,
Winston-Salem State University, love
yeah,
it.
so it is very interesting. Um, I wish more places would do it because like that'd be cool as shit.
That would be like coming
Um,
by high school, just like fuck it, let's just fucking pay the outside and
yeah,
call it a day. Like yeah, hell yeah, that'd be
like,
sweet as hell.
they still have that gravel track behind Eagle View.
Facts, dude. After
Like,
the rugby field,
yeah,
yeah,
what
that'd
are
be
we doing
fun
with
as
that?
fuck. Yeah,
Let's
let's take
pave
some
that
money.
shit. Yeah.
Take
And
some money
Chase
back
Elliott's
here.
doing a badass donut or burnout the whole way around the
I
track.
saw that.
It's like
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet. But yeah, so he dominated this race. My driver Ryan Blaney did start dead last, 23rd, last, and drove the whole way to second. And basically he got to the bumper, and then like Chase Elliott was just like, "Nah, dog, like I'm driving away." So good for him. He deserved it. It's always fun to watch this race. It's kind of like a exhibition race, doesn't count for points. It's all about winning. Watch some tempers flare for a while, but then like everybody kind of gets it. So pretty cool. Good for him. Uh, your boy Tyler Reddick, your punchable man.
Yep.
His car this weekend had the Jordan logo with a big piece of like black tape essentially painted
Mm-hmm.
over it. And so like he put unbannable on the back as a reference to the, I believe it was the Air Force Ones that the
Yep.
NBA was like, hey, you're not allowed to wear those, and Nike
Yep.
just paid the fine.
Yep.
So that's what it's a reference to. But everybody's like, okay, so hear me out. There's still, we talked about this at the end of the last season, so this would have been way back in November now. Um, they're still in the ongoing lawsuit with NASCAR,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the current charter that they are now signed into, but like it's their team along with front row is in a weird limbo because they're racing under that charter, but they got the part taken out where you're not allowed to sue NASCAR. So they're still allowed to sue them, but they're still racing as a charter team. So that charter includes all rights to the logos that are being used on the
Right.
cars. So everybody's like, obviously he's doing this so they can't use the Jordan logo.
to block
Right.
it.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's a really cool like kind of nod to their ongoing issue and all that stuff. So I'm here for it. Like I love I love the drama and the chaos. Like sign me
No,
up.
for
But
sure.
also it was a pretty cool paint scheme. Like just to
I
see
had to
it.
look it up because I saw your note and I had to look it up. So I don't want to kill the bubble because I think it does have a double meaning of like that. Like that makes
Yeah.
sense as to what he's doing. But the true meaning of it, the band
Oh
is
yes.
the black sticker. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
the 40-year anniversary of the Air Force One, and when he,
Yes.
like you said, yeah, it got banned and Nike paid the fines. And
Yeah.
so they're doing it. I don't know if you saw it, but Nike has this marketing scheme. If you go on Nike's website, all the Jordan shoes have a black line across them. Like
Oh damn.
legitimately trying to buy them right now. If you
Yeah.
go to buy them, if like Nike has a joke where it's like you can't buy these, you just click add to cart. They also the Jordan statue in Chicago. His feet, it's the Jordan logo.
Yeah.
They put on a gigantic black box over his shoes in the on the statue, like these
Oh
giant
damn.
marble black squares on his feet. So everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And there's this guy that it's like a fake like reporting audit kind of nerd that
Yeah.
has like a pencil and is like, "Let me tell you everything that's wrong." And so he's like the NBA guy that banned him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the anti fund or whatever they called him, but yeah, so Jordan is doing it like all out, like they are
Oh yeah.
purposely banning everything. So that's like, yeah, I think you're right. Though when you started to explain it, because right away I was like, I don't think that he has this right. But then you explained like the unbannable part of it, and I'm like, actually, that does make sense. So
Yeah,
like
I think.
Jordan was
I
like,
mean,
fuck it,
maybe it's a
twist it into
super happy
here.
coincidence, but like
Yeah, but like it all
also,
makes sense. But also the idea might have started there, and then
yeah,
Jordan's marketing people were like, we should take that NASCAR idea and fucking use the whole band thing like
yeah,
throughout. So it either started with Nike or the NASCAR marketing team, but either way, both divisions of Jordan getting on board with it is hilarious.
yeah,
Like the NASCAR car and the shoes all saying band is great. Yeah, I saw it and I was
yeah,
like, that's fucking crazy. And I was like, even on the website, like that's wild. Like Nike went all out, but it got us talking about it, gets everybody talking about
yeah,
it. It made me want to
exactly.
go look to the websites. Like I'm on the Nike website fucking around. So
Yeah, looking at shoes we can't afford.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I was like, I know I shouldn't be buying these, but I'm like, well, I could use a new pair of golf shoes. And it's like, no, it's so unnecessary. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, good for them though.
Um.
I love seeing Jordan fighting, sticking it to the NASCAR
Yeah.
league.
So it's exciting. NASCAR smartly gives the weekend off for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So props to them for being smart on that one. And then they pick up Thursday night with the duels. So I'll explain it before we get to it. For the first race of the season, the Daytona 500, they they make it a little twist on qualifying. So the cars do qualify. They go out single, you get 2 laps, but usually it's just a single lap that you do because you're going to run the fastest on your first one. Um, Single lap, everybody qualifies, so that sets the order. Then they take everybody who's an odd number in qualifying and everybody who's in an even number and split them up into 2 separate races. So the guy who qualifies first and second in actual qualifying, they keep their spots. They start first and second on the race, unless they wreck in the duel and have to go to a backup car or like have to go through one of the things that would require you to lose your
Right.
position. So everybody else though is racing for their inside or outside line depending on if you're odd or even. So if you win
Right.
your duel, you start second or you start third or fourth, depending on which line you're in, and then so
Right.
on. So if you finish second, you start fifth or
So
sixth, and
everybody
so on.
races Thursday night, and then
Yeah,
but it's like it's just like the playoffs where everybody's racing, but these guys are fighting for this and these guys are fighting for that, but half the field is
not
fighting for.
not even that. That's a really bad example. It's really all but 2 cars are racing. They have to run, but they're just those 2 cars that
Those who just
start
need to
first and
finish.
second.
They just
They're
want to
like, I just
finish.
don't want to wreck.
They
Like,
just get over to the
just keep me
side and
out
they're
of
like,
here.
"Let me just get
Yeah,
to the finish line."
I'm just gonna
But see,
chill
but so
back here.
everybody else then, let's say it's 30 cars, 15 are even number, 15 are odd number. So then that's mean those guys are all
Yeah.
having like their own mini race.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
There's
where I
two
was comparing it to the
races of like
playoffs. So like
15
the playoff
cars.
guys
Yeah.
are racing the playoffs. Everyone else is just racing for fucking money and points or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that there, where those two guys are just racing to get across the finish line.
Yeah.
Evens are racing for a winner, and odds are racing for a winner, but they don't have anything to do with each other.
It's not
Like if
one
it's
race, it's 2 separate races.
oh, so they do 2 separate races. Okay,
Yes.
so that's why I thought
Yeah.
it was everyone on the
No,
track
no,
at
no.
once.
Two
Okay, so
separate
they
races. Yeah.
do qualifying Thursday morning and say, okay, here's the
Yeah,
even group,
I think
here's
it's
the
actually
odd group,
Wednesday, but yeah.
or whatever. So they split them up, and then Thursday night there's 2 different races, AFC,
Yes.
NFC,
Yeah.
and then on Sunday they do the race, but then Thursday nights was the qualifying. So it's just like
Yeah.
the opening week qualifiers
Yeah.
and kind of like
Just
adding an extra
something to
line to it.
give them time,
Okay.
give you something to go watch cuz
To be fair, I don't think I added the
they're good.
duels to my calendar, and if I don't do it literally right now, I'm going to forget. So. I don't
Yeah.
think I have that in here,
I'll
but
remind you. Yeah, Wednesday night is qualifying. They just put it on TV. The duels are Thursday, and then Thursday night or Friday night you have the Truck Series race. Saturday you have the ARCA race and the Xfinity race, and then Sunday's the Daytona 500. So it's basically football ends and NASCAR's like, hey, here we are.
here we are, here we are, here we are. We're taking over.
Yeah. So smartly to them.
NASCAR duels, February the 6th. It's in there. It's official. Now it's on the calendar. I'm gonna watch it.
Nice.
Bang.
Uh,
Okay.
so that wraps up racing until after the Super Bowl. That's exciting.
Yep.
Um, golf, right?
Golf. Had a little bit of golf this week. Had Pebble Beach. Rory gets his 27th PGA win. Did see that this year is supposed to be like a historic year because, again, we're not golf experts. I'm getting into it. I'm trying to learn. I know negativity draws engagement though, so feel free to comment. Tell me why I fucked this up and explain the right way. But from what I understand is that like the events are named certain things and then the locations will change from year to year in certain situations, but not always. Some of them
Wait a minute.
like
Pebble Beach isn't at Pebble Beach.
so sometimes it's weird. So that's from what I understand. Like the Pebble Beach tournament could be held elsewhere, but Pebble Beach, like so, typically though, Pebble Beach is at Pebble Beach. The Masters is always at Augusta. Like there
Okay,
are
okay.
ones that are
Right, right.
stationary, permanent, but then there are ones that move. Like the Waste Management Open is always in Phoenix. Like there are ones that are permanent,
Gotcha.
but from what I understand, like there's ones that rotate, or it's one of those things where it's like every few years you get this and this that happens. This happens every 6 years. This happens every three. So on the 12th
Oh,
year, you
okay.
get both, like that kind of thing. So from what I understand, it's one of those coincidences where this year we get Pebble Beach, we get St. Andrews, I think is the other one, and then there's another famous course that's like holy shit, they're playing it this year, but it all happens this year. So we get
Oh,
all
okay.
three in like one major year. Definitely should have done a better job reporting on which three they were. But as soon as I said Pebble Beach, I was like, I remember that article earlier was talking about like this is a freak year where it doesn't
Yeah,
always happen, but like this is the year for all
it's
three
that.
historic events.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
lineup of
for,
all the
yeah,
events.
there's a word for it. I'm
Cool.
just losing it right now, but yeah. Other than that, we have Live starting this week, and then also again the Waste Management Open, which I just mentioned, is the
Yeah.
fun one where it's always drunk people and people streaking, and it's the beer throwing tournament. The loud, like the Happy Gilmore, basically golf tournament of the PGA
Yeah.
happens on the 6th. This is the first year that they're like limiting drinks or have like ID requirements and things like that. Like there's certain things that they're like requiring this year.
Yeah.
I was actually in Arizona last year for this. I was there during this time. So me and the boys drove down to Phoenix one of the days just to like be in the area and be around and stuff. And it was so sick to just be around.
That's cool. Um, the only thing I have to add to that, TGL Tuesday night
Mm.
rather.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right. I gotta add that in too.
so I don't think it's Boston versus Los Angeles. I don't
It
even
is
know
in
who's
that.
on the
It's
teams. I
yeah,
don't.
no, but it is. It's so weird too that it's like this
There's
city
that.
versus this city. They're definitely playing in Florida though.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so
TGO
Rory's team
schedule.
is playing. Tommy Fleetwood's the only name on there I recognize.
Interesting.
He was in one of the first episodes of the golf
Full
documentary
swing.
that's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched like maybe 5 or 6 episodes of that and
yeah. I
then got
want to. Yeah,
sidetracked. But I did enjoy him for what it was worth. I just never picked it back up.
yeah.
So we have that to look forward to on Tuesday. Um,
Yeah. Other than that, though, we
WNBA,
did have a
they had
little
some
WNBA
trades
news.
too.
Yeah, some free agent
Oh,
landings,
I
things like
forgot
that.
about that.
Brittany Griner was a big one. She's been with
Yeah.
the Phoenix Mercury for 11 years now. She plays for the Um, Atlanta Dream, I think it is. And then Kelsey Plum was a big star for the Vegas Aces, played in the championship this year, and she's out to the Los Angeles Sparks now. And I see you typing right now that also there's another one in the works. Candace Parker and Peyton Manning just got approval for Nashville to get their own WNBA team.
Okay.
So Candace Parker and
Is
Peyton
it
are trying to get.
okay? So is it approval or we should
I
probably
think
look
they
this up
just started. Yeah, they
because
just started like the
right.
framework of getting like an expansion team or something. Like they won the bid for like the next team or something like that. Like it's, I don't know
Because
that they're like in the works. I think Philly is closer. What you were typing
yeah,
is.
because I the only thing I saw about Philly was that they filed the paperwork to get an expansion team. So I don't know how the whole process
Oh, it was
works,
just a bid. Yeah, Nashville
but
bids for WNBA franchise with Candace Parker and Peyton Manning among the main investors. So yeah, so they just put a bid in for it. But I mean,
okay.
Peyton Manning's gonna get shit done. Like that's a connected dude with some money, and Candace
Oh, the
Parker too.
Pistons
So like,
submitted a bid as well. So Detroit, supposedly.
interesting. Everybody trying to get some girls on the court.
Yeah. Um. I mean, good for them. It's growing, and
Yeah, that's
obviously
good to
they need
see.
it. And
Yeah,
I'm glad to see these people putting in the work for it.
yeah, for sure. That's mean
So
you being a girl dad too. It hits home. That's, yeah. You
yeah,
get girl sports expanded. It's something more fun. It's, you get more places to see it, more teams,
yeah.
kind of everything. And
Because like, dude,
yeah,
WNBA team comes to Philly, and I will 100% have her there.
yeah, oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah,
catch
for
catch
sure. And
me,
it,
catch me being the poor Kobe Bryant sitting in the stands
the
watching the
thing too is
games.
that like those games are just going to be cheaper. I'm taking the boys all the games. Like it's cheaper to see them than it is the Sixers. Sorry about it, but
will
it is the
will
Lady
I be
Sixers.
will I be a season ticket holder for the for the opening of it? Probably.
Probably, yeah. Philadelphia Lady Sixers, yeah, sign us
I'll be
up.
that guy at age 80, being like, I've had season
Been
tickets since
I've
day
been here
one.
since the beginning.
Yeah,
What do you mean we're moving to Jersey? Yeah, it's fucking,
yeah.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
cancel my season tickets.
yeah. That would be crazy. That would put. Actually, no, that's a lie. I gotta research that. I'd see what other. Cause I'm sure one of the other major four cities has a WNBA team. Like one of the cities that has all four major sports. Not the WNBA would considerably be the next major
Yeah.
sport, but because there's only like a handful of WNBA teams.
Okay, so you have Boston. I don't know if they have WNBA team.
Atlanta. I don't think
Yeah,
Atlanta has
no,
a
Atlanta
hockey team.
doesn't. No.
Chicago does. So Chicago's a big one. So
Okay, so
Chicago
Chicago's
Sky,
one. Yeah.
which they also have the Indiana Fever then technically.
Does
But that's
Dallas
Illinois. I'm
does
an
Dallas
asshole.
have a
They have a hockey team, football,
WNBA
but
team?
yes, Dallas Wings.
Okay,
Las Vegas Knights. No, there's no baseball in Vegas yet.
correct.
Los Angeles has all four, so the Sparks.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
Phoenix, I think. Do they have a hockey team?
Uh, they
Arizona?
used
Or
to.
they
I
just
don't
became Utah
know.
or
They just
whatever.
became Utah. Yeah.
And then Seattle.
Minneapolis.
They have Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah. So Minneapolis does. The Twins, the Timberwolves, the Vikings, and the
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Minnesota Lynx, the Los Angeles Sparks, the
So
Dallas
they would add
Wings.
themselves to the list of
Yeah,
teams
yeah,
with
yeah.
all
Still
five.
though, that's
Yeah.
pretty. It's
But
cool
yeah,
to see
I'm
though.
all for more sports.
Yeah,
Because
facts.
the Philly also has the lacrosse team too.
Yeah,
The Wings, maybe?
no idea,
Is
but
that their
that
name?
sounds right. Yeah, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, something like that. But anyways, we're here for it. We love to see it.
Yeah, good
Um,
stuff.
the only thing I would love to see more is Caitlin Clark playing in Philly.
Yeah,
But that'll
should be the
probably never happen.
first pick off the fucking expansion draft. But yeah, the Fever are gonna lock that
Yeah,
down real
they're
quick.
gonna be
So
like, no, she sells way too many jerseys.
yeah, she just
So
actually doubled the WNBA revenue. So no.
yeah, yeah,
Although in Philly rather than Indiana would probably be the vibes like
yeah,
that. Would you put her in Philadelphia? Like Jesus, like
yeah.
yeah, that's the merch
Dude, that
sold in Philly.
not only that, but like she just gives me that vibe of like she
A
could be a
Philly,
Philly athlete.
yeah, be a
Like
Philly athlete. Yeah,
she's a
a
little
little.
like don't fuck with me. Like
Yes, yeah. She does have the edge to her. That yeah, that
so
would potentially
yeah.
work.
In
Um,
local sports news, though, I do just want to add the City Islanders. They had tryouts yesterday, so they are well on their way to starting a team this summer,
love that.
which was pretty cool. I looked at it and I was like, man, that'd be pretty cool. But I was like, should I drive down? And I was like, I haven't played soccer in like 7 years
Still, that'd be
now.
so fun. Even if like it's just one where they're like,
Like,
this guy could get it. Like he has it. He just needs a
do
little
do I
refresh.
really want to be that old guy out there playing with a bunch of
Dude, that'd be
dudes that are
so
in
fun.
college? Like,
Hell yeah, give me and the boys a reason to be fucking front row. It'd be so fun.
so. For the record, I did not, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I
should
will
have.
be a
Maybe next
fan.
time.
I'll support them as much as I can. Uh, Unfortunately, they don't release soccer gear in my size, so I don't wear it. But
Yeah.
maybe I'll pick up a hat or beanie or something.
Little hat.
Yeah,
There we go. That's what I need to do. I need to grab a baseball cap for each of our local teams. Cumberland Valley, City Islanders, the Harrisburg Heat, LOL, even the Stampede. I should buy one of the Stampede hats just to have it. Little retro.
yeah.
Um,
Anything else?
No, I don't think so. We talked about doing this before, so I'm gonna throw in one
Okay,
here because I
I'm here
thought it
for it.
was a little, yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I'm gonna do my athlete of the day. I saw a little Twitter
Okay.
thread earlier, and I was reading through it, and it's just like it was one of those ones where it was, we did it before where we talked about like the 14 starting quarterbacks the Broncos have had or whatever since Peyton Manning or 24 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Browns became a team in '98. They have had 40 starting quarterbacks.
I've seen
And
those
I,
jerseys.
yes,
They
dude,
just
yes.
keep
And I
adding
saw a
pieces of
reel the other
cardboard
day
and
where
shit.
this podcast brought on like their Browns fan friend, and they were like, "We want you to name all 40 quarterbacks." He was like, "All right, let's get the easy ones out of the way." And just like starts naming them all. Needed like a little bit of hints with some of them, but like for the
Yeah.
most part, got like 20 to 25 of them, like no problem. 25 to 30, 35, like with like a couple of help, maybe like a college. Then like the last five needed some assistance, but like was reading through them, and I just was like, "Holy fuck, I forgot about that dude too." And like just started doing some random Googling. So today, with no quiz or no trivia, my random athlete of the day is Rich Gannon, who was an athlete. I don't know if you remember him, quarterback for the Raiders. He was
Yeah.
drafted by the Patriots, scoffed at it, got traded to the Vikings, had a couple miserable years there. We got traded to the Raiders during the Gruden era. 2002, the year that Gruden gets traded to the Bucks and meets the Raiders in the championship and gets throttles the Raiders. That was Rich Gannon's MVP year. So he had
Okay.
only 26 touchdowns, but had 4,600 yards and led the league. And Oakland went 11-5, and he made it to the Super Bowl through five picks against the Bucks and lost 48-21. So,
Damn.
Rich Gannon also made an appearance in the backyard football games. So the Oval
Uh,
Teen, Yellow Dog, Yellow Dog.
that's
You could
probably
play
where I
as
recommend
yes, you
recognize
could
his name
rush. Yeah,
from.
you could get Rich Gannon as one of the players. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
big head, normal white guy face, short brown hair, number 12 for the black and silver. And yes, I saw it earlier and I was just like, we need to start picking up these random ass athletes from like random leagues and stuff because I went
Yeah.
down a rabbit hole where I was just like, oh my God, I remember that guy. And that's, yeah, I'm going to post it. I will post a picture of Rich Gannon later. And that's, I was like, if people are going to see that and be like, holy shit. But yeah, so that's it.
All right.
That's my response to your fun facts will be our athlete of the day.
All right. I'm here for it. 3 athletes a week. There's plenty to choose from.
Yeah. Athlete of the episode, I guess it is.
All right. Fun fact 1 to 13.
Give me 12 for Rich Gannon.
12 for Rich Gannon. The Tyrannosaurus Rex lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than the existence of the Stegosaurus.
Damn. I
Yeah.
always assumed that all dinosaurs were just together.
No, the
But I guess that is kind of insane
there
to
are
just
like
assume that every human is around every other human. Like me and Abraham Lincoln, clearly we're not in the same room together,
right,
but
but I mean we're talking billions of years.
billions of
Like
years.
there's the
Yeah, no, in my brain it's
prehistoric
just
or not the prehistoric,
dinosaurs.
the when you say dinosaurs, like the range of
Prehistoric and
time that
mesoteric or whatever
covers,
the fuck
yeah,
there are.
is
Yeah, holy shit.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because then like the evolutions of it too, like the gators and the sharks and all the ones that are still technically around now or
yeah,
whatever, however that shit works. But so there's certain ones that then kind of popped up for like a little glimpse in history and then disappeared.
yeah,
Damn, yeah. See, especially because yeah, Jurassic World fucked me up with that because they just make it seem like there's just all the dinosaurs existed all at once and there
right,
was just like a database of them and that just was
yeah,
it. Like they just all were out there running around. Like right now, if you open a book with animals, you just assume that all the animals that you're reading about are in the earth, like on the earth
right,
somewhere right now. Like
yeah,
this type of chicken and this kind of frog and this type of eel, you're like, cool, they all
yeah.
exist somewhere right now. So anytime I've learned about dinosaurs, it always was just like, oh, they all lived during the dinosaur period. But no, that's actually really like I've never really like
Well, they did live during the dinosaur
during the
period. It's
dinosaur
just
period, but
that
it's just a
period.
very big
So,
period.
so I just looked it up. That period is called the Mesozoic era. I don't know why I had so much time, but that's 66 million to 252 million years ago. And that
184 million
time period
years.
is broken up into the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period. So there's 3 time periods in there.
Jesus.
And yeah, so like
Yeah, I
just
never would
wild to think
have.
about that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, it was just like Stegosaurus and T Rexes definitely walk by each other on the way to work every day. Like they definitely pass each other hunting for food and shit. Like why would they not have? But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's a good point. Is that they are kind of from separate timelines almost entirely. Like
Yeah. So the Stegosaurus is 155 million years ago, in the to 150 million years ago. So they lived for about 5 million years, which is nuts.
astronomical to begin
Yeah.
with. Yeah, that's crazy. To
But
begin with.
that's the late Jurassic period, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex is 83.6 million to 66 point million years ago. That's the Cretaceous period.
Yeah, so it's only 60 million years from an iPhone, but 90 million years from a Stegosaurus. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. That's so wild. That like showing us T Rex and iPhone and be like, I understand that more than a Stegosaurus. And it's like, what? You guys are cousins, bro. You guys just fucking, you guys the same skin.
Yeah.
What do you mean you understand the iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. That's pretty crazy.
Just one of those things that like you look at a
You
timeline
never
and
would.
you're like,
Yes,
no
yeah.
way, no way,
Never
there's
would
no way that's
without
true.
looking at that linear like that. I know it's just like, oh, dinosaurs. Like just day one to day last day of dinosaurs, they just all were out there fucking around, running into each other. It was just a Royal Rumble for the
Yeah.
biggest, and that's kind of crazy. Is that like that's T Rex always gets. Yeah, it's goddamn it. T Rex always gets clowned as like crowned as being the king, but it's like, yeah, but who was even fighting? Was there any other like
Right.
worthwhile like dinosaurs that period where they all died off? Like, yeah, that's a pretty crazy point. I need to do some dinosaur digging tonight. That would be my Twitter rabbit hole for the night.
There you go. All right. Well,
Cool.
we appreciate you all. Have a great week. We will catch you Tuesday night/Wednesday.
For
Um,
sure.
I don't.
More crazy NBA
I guess
updates, maybe.
we'll have TGL to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some NBA updates.
Do you have
That'll
racing Tuesday? Does that
probably
start
be
yet?
about it. I think we have some like recruitment races.
Okay.
Not the actual regular season
I know
ones.
TGL's on early. We could try to maybe live stream TGL. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, we can see what's up.
Just see what the schedules look like. Okay.
So, appreciate you all. Have a great start to your week, and thanks you for
Jeez.
listening.
Like and subscribe.